Marketing Your Private Practice is a podcast where you'll learn easy to implement tips and strategies to grow your business without spending all day online. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and I teach practitioners the Thrive marketing method to create simple and streamlined plans by focusing on long-term strategies, not just social media. Discover ways to spend less time on your marketing, attract more clients, and build the financial freedom that comes with a thriving practice. One where you have time left in your day for the people and things that matter to you. Hey, private practice heroes. Thanks for tuning into the podcast today. I'm your host, Kathy Colaiacovo, and as we kick off another year of marketing your private practice, I wanted to start the year by sharing with you the reason why one day I told a client of mine that she should stop doing all of her marketing right now. I know it seems pretty wild, but she was at a point where she had so many broken foundations for her marketing, and she was paying a virtual assistant to help who was doing a lackluster job. Her work was filled with typos and errors, and because of the broken foundations, nothing was getting any results. My client was literally throwing time and money out the door. How we fixed the problem was by going back to the basics and making sure she had 4 things in place that would ensure that her time and money invested into the marketing was worth it, and that the marketing would actually work. And by actually work, you know me, I'm always talking about helping you bring in new clients and growing your practice or your business. Something I'm sure everyone out there listening wants for their own business too. More clients and growth for your business. Most practice owners who come to me, they all want this marketing magic that just happens and works to bring them clients without being a waste of time. Many of them have tried all sorts of ways to get the marketing working. Following trends on Instagram and posting multiple reels and content that simply doesn't ever seem to get them anything but more time lost on marketing that doesn't work. A lot of them are simply sick and tired and burnt out from doing so much marketing and not getting any of the levels of client and revenue they need to stay in business. The client in this story that I was talking about today is one who was beyond frustrated with everything that was happening. She knew something was wrong, but she had no idea what the problem was. And as the CEO of your business, when we are solopreneurs, that is one of our titles. You have to know that you're going to be managing some aspects of your marketing, especially if you are the face of the business. My client knew that, but she didn't know why everything she was trying wasn't working. So, what does one do in a case like this? And how do you get the marketing magic to happen? This is where we get back to those basics that many folks skip over. Not factoring in the elements they need for marketing a private practice or a service-based business, because a lot of people think those things aren't necessary or they're overrated or irrelevant and they don't want to bother with them. I get it. They are kind of boring. I'll give you that. They aren't the shiny answers out there telling everybody that you can get your marketing to bring you thousands of sales overnight. They are the simple things that actually make a huge difference. Clients I work with finally understand that these basics are what make the magic happen when we go through the processes that we do in ensuring that they understand what these basics and elements are that are going to help them get things working. That client I'd once told to stop all of her marketing right now, she had a small group practice and a mid-6-figure income, but she was really overwhelmed with her marketing. Everything that she was doing was scattered. It had no strategy behind it, and there were so many broken foundations. When I refer back to my initial marketing assessment that we did together and the notes I had for her, I actually had the words, "Stop all marketing now because it's not working," written down. And that is what I told her. There was no point to it. I can't tell you how many things were broken on her website, how many of the foundations were broken. People couldn't find her lead magnets. They couldn't sign up. She was spending all of this extra time on marketing that had no hope of working. And to make matters worse, she was paying a virtual assistant to do some of the marketing for her. Paying someone to put out marketing that had no purpose behind it, no strategy, and was sending people to so many places that were broken or had things that weren't working to let people follow up and do what they were trying to do. Nothing was getting results for her. The other problem that I really ran into was that the content that this person was creating for her was also full of all sorts of typos and errors, which just made things worse because anybody seeing all of that, it would make people want to run from you versus being attracted to you and trusting you as the expert. And I get it. I make typos all the time. But what we're talking about here when I say typos and errors, I mean colossal mistakes. Mistakes that made the content make no sense. Errors like broken links to the website, all sorts of stuff. It was really broken. I can't even describe it other than that. And that's why I said you have to stop doing it all now. Once we got together and we started working through everything and fixing up her foundations, getting more clarity in her messaging, and creating more effective content and putting that content into her marketing plans and using systems that helped her save time, well, that's when a life changed for her. And that's when her practice began to grow more. It began to do what she was expecting it to do when she had made all these plans in the first place. And she had a banner month about 2 months after we had this all set up and fixed. She went from having an average of maybe a consult or two every week to 1 week where they had an average of 2 requests coming in from clients per day. So that's 10 client requests a week. And on one day, they actually had 5 client requests come in to book a consult and talk to them about working with one of the dietitians. These changes all happened a couple months after we started fixing up these elements, these foundational basics that you need to make your marketing work. And it started working because she had taken the time to put those 4 pillars of marketing a practice or a business that's a service-based business into place. And that's when she started seeing results. She also finally understood, too, the urgency of my request when I said, listen, you have to stop doing all of your marketing. Just stop it right now. She fully understood and got that because there was no point to doing anything when nothing was working right. The Thrive marketing method that I've been using and teaching to practice owners and dietitians and service-based business owners for the past 16 years is something I developed from my work with hundreds of clients one-on-one and my time working with more than 1,400 people who've taken my various training programs over the years. And a lot of that method is based on having these 4 pillars of marketing in place and helping your marketing work versus blocking it and stopping it from getting you results. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, those 4 pillars of marketing. I want to review with you what they are and how they help your marketing to work better. So the 4 pillars of marketing a private practice or service-based business are your foundations, your messaging, your content, and your systems. And these all work together to help ensure that what you do for your marketing, the activities you're going to put in place, the things you're going to create, the things you're going to do, the words you're going to say to people are all going to work more effectively than if you're doing scattershot marketing or doing what I like to refer to as random acts of marketing. So let's talk about each one of these pillars and how they're going to help you. So the foundations, I know I talk about this a lot on the podcast here. These are the elements that support almost all of your marketing. They support a lot when it comes to your business. The foundations help those marketing tasks and activities that you're going to do work better. They help them happen. They help them make them happen in the first place. These are based on the 10 marketing foundations that I always check and try to ensure that my clients and program members know what they are and know what they need to focus on getting into place for their own practice or business. A lot of your marketing content will either go on one of these foundations or use one of these foundations to help get it in front of people. Or it might use the foundation as a way to deliver some content or something to your clients or leads or people in your community. The foundations are key to making the marketing happen. Now, messaging, pillar number 2, is all about making sure that you can clearly tell people who you are, how you help people, what kind of people you help. So what kind of problems do they have? And what happens to the people that you do help? When you can be crystal clear on your messaging, it helps your marketing content hit home and reach the right people. When it reaches the right people, those messages will help do things like increase your website traffic, get you more leads, more consults, more discovery calls, and more sales. And by the way, when I talk about sales, I'm really talking about getting more clients, because that's how practice owners and service providers make their revenue, by having clients paying them. That's where their sales come into play. Messaging will help you get more of both things, clients and sales. Content is made up of the words or the images or the videos that you might publish online on your website or social media, or that you might say face-to-face to people. Yes, content is not always just words or images that you put out online. It's also what you talk to people about, how you tell people about your business, about your practice. The way you share your message is using content. And where you put that message using your foundations is where you want to make sure that you've created content and are using words that will reach the people who need that information. Your content needs to speak to your ideal clients, to educate them, inform them, maybe even entertain them a little bit, and ultimately incite them to reach out to you, because they see you as the expert who can help them. The content helps deliver your messaging. And what we want to make sure happens is that they see you as the person who could solve the problem that they've been typing into the Google looking for an answer. If your content fits the bill there and delivers the right message using the foundations, then you're going to see your marketing work a lot more effectively and efficiently. The 4th pillar is systems. Now, systems are all about the tools and processes that will help you save time getting your marketing done so that you can reach the people you're trying to attract, your ideal clients. Systems are often ways that you're going to use these tools to help get your marketing content published and online. Systems might also be a way you have of creating your content in the first place. There's lots of systems out there that will help make your marketing happen a lot more efficiently and effectively. And systems are often the reason that you're going to find yourself saving on how much time it takes to do your marketing. So these 4 pillars, when they're all in place, they help your marketing not only take less time to do, you're probably going to find yourself creating less content. You're going to see more attraction of those ideal clients coming to you and looking to book consults or signing up for your lead magnets. And ultimately, you're making more sales because of these 4 pillars and having them in place. But if any of them are missing from your marketing plans, from your business plans, you will probably spend at least 2 to 3 times more on your marketing than is necessary. And you'll likely see fewer results than if you have these 4 pillars in place. When you connect those 4 pillars, the foundations, the messaging, the content, and the systems, and you have them all working together, that's how you make that marketing magic happen. And it's critical to know something about these 4 things too. They all depend on one another. A lot can change when you're missing just one of them when it comes to effective marketing. Here's one example of what could happen when you're missing one of these pillars. Let's say that you have your messaging, your content, and your systems down pat. You have them in place, and maybe you're out there promoting your lead magnet, that free item that people can download. And you promote it by sending people to your homepage. Well, doing this, you're going to find yourself seeing fewer signups than if you had a standalone page. Sometimes people refer to that as a lead generation page or a landing page or an opt-in page. If you have that single page that you could be sending people to for that lead magnet, then you've got one of those critical marketing foundations in place that helps this whole process of lead generation work better. That foundation helps the other three pillars connect everything together. And when it's missing, that's often why folks don't have as many leads signing up, because you're sending them to the homepage where they can't always see clearly where that is, because you're missing one of those foundations that are in that first pillar. And I know some of you might be thinking, really, Kathy, does one page really matter? I have it on my homepage. I have a pop-up. I have a banner. It does matter. The story I was talking about today with the client that I had been working with and said, stop doing all of your marketing. Well, they had spent months promoting a lead magnet that got absolutely no leads. Nobody was signing up at all, and she couldn't figure out why. She was doing exactly what other people had told her. Create a lead magnet, put it on your website, tell people to sign up for it. But they weren't signing up. And the answer to why they weren't signing up took me about 2 minutes to figure out. She was missing one key item in her pillar of foundations, the standalone lead generation page. That is a page where the only thing people can do or see on the page is to learn about the lead magnet, what it is, and how to sign up for it. It's not the same as sending someone to a homepage. She didn't have this page. She had a form at the bottom of her homepage. So when she was telling people about it, they had no context or clear message on how to get the lead magnet. It was hiding way down at the bottom of her website homepage. She would send people there, but they weren't finding the form. Now, I will also add, she had another problem here, and it was another foundational problem. She had a sign-up process that was entirely broken as well. So the people who did find the form, if they tried to sign up, the automation in her email marketing system was not working right. So nobody got anything after they signed up. Nobody saw any emails. Nobody saw the lead magnet they were signing up for, nothing. So once we changed all of that right away, and once she had that foundation in place, her list started to grow. And as we fixed up some of the other items in her 4 pillars, she also started getting more people booking consults to work with one of the dietitians. And what followed was, you got it, more clients and more growth for the practice. And that's where about 2 months later, she had that day where she realized that people were signing up a few people a day versus a couple people a week. And then they had that fabulous day where 5 people were signing up for the consults. And they were very much like a lot of you out there. If you get people on a consult and you talk to them, probably 9 times out of 10, you convert a lot of them into being a client. So what you need to understand about these 4 pillars of marketing a practice or service is how much they can rely on each other. And that's why you don't want to miss having any of these 4 pillars in your marketing planning. When your foundations and your messaging and your content are on point, your marketing will be effective. It will help you get more website traffic, more leads, and consults. But without the 4th pillar, the systems in place to help make it all happen, you're probably going to spend more time on your marketing than is necessary. Now, if you think about the pillar of messaging, that can be a huge problem if this one is not nailed down. When you have your foundations, your content, and your systems in place, your marketing is going to work. You're probably saving some time doing it, But without that clear message that is going to resonate with those ideal clients you want to work with, you're going to see that the marketing isn't going to be hitting home with them. So it doesn't matter if you have the foundations or the systems in place, your content is not going to have that clear message that you need because your message is missing. People won't know what services you offer and how you can help them because they don't understand what your message is all about. Content is the third pillar, and it affects a lot when it's not optimal. You could have all the foundations in place that you need, your messaging is on point, and the systems are working and helping you out as well. And in this case, your marketing should be speaking to the right people, and it won't take you as much time to do. But when the content is not prepared effectively and published so that it helps the people looking for you and your services find you, well, that means you might be getting overlooked by the very people you could be helping out there, those potential clients. It also means that you may not be taking the message you want to share with people and putting it into such a way when you put it out as content online that it actually makes sense to people and they understand what you're trying to say. Each of these 4 foundations relies a lot on the other one to see that progress and the results you're looking for with your marketing. So if you don't have them nailed down, some, if not a lot, of your marketing activities will take you more time, will get you fewer results, and you're just going to end up frustrated and probably burnt out from trying to make it all work. No one wants to put any time into something that is not going to be effective and get results. It doesn't matter what that something is. And once my client understood how these 4 pillars affected the marketing that she was doing, she truly understood why it was so important when I told her, you've got to stop everything that you're doing, because there was literally no point to it. And at that time, it was costing her about $700 a month paying for the VA, let alone what other money walked out the door because everything that she was doing had no chance of working. These 4 pillars of marketing a practice or service-based business help you grow by helping any marketing that you do, whether it's online, face-to-face, or even the kind of marketing that you do when you're networking with colleagues and referral partners. So before you go creating all sorts of content and posting on social media, I want you to step back and think about each of these 4 pillars that we've talked about here today. Do you have them in place? Have you even thought about them at all? I'd much rather you stop all marketing, as I told that client of mine, and get these pillars into place for your business. It will give you a better chance of reaching more of your ideal clients and booking more consults. And those consults are the path to more clients, more income, more revenue, and more freedom as a business owner, which I know is a big deal for me. I want to stay in business because I do love the freedom I have that comes with owning my own business. All of this, that freedom, those results, that revenue that you want to earn, all of it begins with having these 4 pillars in place: foundations, messaging, content, and systems. The next few episodes of the podcast, I'm going to be focusing on each of these 4 pillars, sharing more information about what is involved in each one and how they can help your marketing improve so that you're growing your business or your practice. The main goal of this is to ensure you have the focus on the marketing activities you need and the ones that are going to work for your business, not the ones that people are out there saying, just go do this and these magic things will happen. Those magical things can happen, but you've got to do a little work to make them happen. So be sure you hit follow wherever you're listening to today's episode so that you get notified of those future episodes of the podcast. And listen, if you're confused as to whether or not this might be your problem too, why not book a free marketing review with me? We will do a quick check on your 4 pillars and determine if that could be part of your issue too, if that's why your marketing is not working, and why you may also need to take a break and stop some of your marketing. I will put a link in the show notes wherever you're listening to this episode so that you can sign up for a free marketing review if that's something you want to do. And that's it for today. I'm happy that I've educated you a little bit more on these 4 pillars and explained why I actually told somebody one day to stop doing all of their marketing. It makes sense when you understand that there was no point in what she was doing. And that's it for today. This is Kathy Colaiacovo signing off. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the advice I have here today. I hope it helps you make some improvements within your own business so that you can continue on that path forward. And remember, to thrive in practice or business means taking the time to ensure you have the pillars needed so that you stop wasting time and energy with marketing that may not be working. I'd much rather you have an optimal setup and focus on what's important to grow your practice with marketing that's going to work for you. I'll see you next time. You can find all of our show notes and resources mentioned at marketingyourprivatepractice.com. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at pepperitmarketing and say hi. I'd love to hear any feedback you have, and make sure to rate and review the podcast and hit subscribe on your favorite player so you don't miss any future episodes.